Dear students, you are welcome again in this class. This class could not be completed because of shortage of time in the forenoon, but now we will finish it. And in this class, growing and management of rice nurseries, we started with this topic. And then we have seen different methods of nursery establishment, wet bed nursery method, dry bed nursery methods, and then depot methods, and modified mat nursery method. And fifth one was your bubble tray method. That was left, that we could not complete. And you got some idea about these methods. So just I will flash the slides. You can see the purpose of any nursery, rice nursery, is to get healthy seedlings so that they establish well, they establish fast in the main field, and they are healthy, and tilling and other growth parameters are also good. That is the purpose, and they are disease free also and weed seedling free. So these are the important purpose of nursery. And nursery is always prepared for transplanting. If you go for transplanting, then you need nursery. Otherwise, it is not required. So you have already seen wet bed nursery, dry bed nursery, depot method, or mat nursery, or modified mat nursery, and bubble tray. This modified mat nursery is also used for SRI, system of rice intensification, with slight modifications. Some modifications are there because in SRI, system of rice intensification, you can plant only 12 days old seedlings, less than 12 or 12 days old seedling, at the most 14 days old seedling. So that is slightly modification of modified mat nursery for SRI method. And other one is bubble tray method that we are going to discuss today. So you have seen the details of just a moment. Let me admit some student has come. He can join again. By mistake, I closed it. Anyway. So seed treatment is necessary in this case with the fungicide, Bavastine, in wet bed nursery method. And then we have seen different field preparation, manure, how much manure is required in wet bed nursery method, most common method. Puddling is required. And you can see some weeds, insect pest and disease problem may come in nursery also. Of course, nursery is there at the most 25 or 30 days in the field, but it can suffer from weed problem, insect pest and disease also. And besides this, there can be some abiotic stresses like nitrogen deficiency and iron deficiency. So what is a major difference between iron deficiency and nitrogen deficiency? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, iron deficiency occurs on the upper leaves with the intravenoal chlorosis, whereas nitrogen deficiency occurs on the older leaves with the whole yellowing of the leaf.
Good. So that is the major difference. Means this zinc deficiency, you can see it is start with the younger leaves or topmost portion of the plant, and then color changes to yellow, then white, and then brown. And that way nursery dries up. Many times it dries up. And one more point in nursery is if you're applying water in the summer months, because nursery is prepared in most of the time, major crop is our kharif crop, main crop. So nursery is planted in May and June, and they are very hot months. So during these time, watering should not be done during noon time. It can be applied in the evening time. The watering can be done, or irrigation should be applied in nursery in the evening hours. Please move this window away from the shared. What does that mean? Anyway, so iron deficiency can come, and it can be corrected by applying water, applying irrigation in the soil and or water, or by iron sulfate foliar spray. One very interesting fact to students that soil is not short of iron. It is about 6% by weight. soil is iron. Do you know it? 5.8 to 6% is iron content in soil. So soil contains large quantities of iron. It is just matter of availability. Here, in case of aerobic rice or direct seeded rice or rice where water does not stagnate, kind of aerobic conditions, the iron becomes in ferric form. Ferric form, it gets oxidized from ferrous to ferric. Therefore, rice has no mechanism to uptake the ferric form of iron. Therefore, it suffers from iron deficiency. If you apply water, keep the soil flooded, the aerobic condition disappear. Now it becomes anaerobic, means the ferric will be reduced to ferrous. Therefore, ferrous can be easily taken up by rice plant. Now your question will come that there are many other aerobic crops like rice and wheat. In those conditions also iron will be ferric form. And then how these crops can take up? So they can take up iron in ferric form also, or primarily in the ferric form. They have got certain mechanism with the help of root exudates or some siderophores. Those plants are able to take up iron when it is in ferric form. But rice is not capable, or rice is not having that kind of mechanism. That I will discuss in some other course. Now you can see this is iron deficiency in rice, direct seeded rice or aerobic rice. You can see iron deficiency in transplanted rice. And then it can be corrected by flooding, by applying water. And at the time of planting, one should use farmyard manure or foliar spray of 0.5% iron sulfate. Sometimes nursery may face cold injury. And in cold injury, you can see the growth is stopped and the reddening of the leaves is happening. And sometimes if it continues, there may be death of the plants also, death of the seedlings also. Therefore, under these circumstances, crop can be covered with the polythene. Then uprooting of the seedling, care should be taken to uproot the seedlings and as early as possible. And sometimes if you expect some disease in the seedlings like Bakani disease, then you can go for 0.1% solution of Bavastine. You can prepare it and dip the seedling in this solution. This is uprooting of rice seedlings, and this is wet bed nursery in Sri Lanka by Bala Subramaniam. And then we discussed about dry bed nursery. You can see the details. Under dry conditions, nursery is sown and beds are prepared and it can be drilled. Seed is drilled in these. We already discussed in detail. This is your dry bed nursery. Dry bed nursery. Someone is removing the weeds by manual methods, by hand pulling, and it has got some advantage and limitations. Then we discuss different aspects of depot nursery, and this is depot nursery, and you can see the picture close-up of depot nursery. It was concrete floor, you can see, and it has got some advantage, disadvantage we discussed, and then we discussed in detail modified mat nursery. So this is the best way to grow rice nursery at the moment. And we discussed that a soil mixture is prepared for sowing in frames, and this mixture and such kind of frames are made, and soil mixture is put into these frames. And once the soil settle, then frames are removed. So sowing is done, and then this is the way sowing looks. And finally, you can see watering is done and frames are removed. Frames are removed. This is how it looks without frames. And now it has become adhered. It is sticking to the main bed. Therefore, now it cannot be washed away. So seedlings of 5 days old, and this was comparison. This modified mat nursery can be prepared under dry conditions as well as flooding conditions. This aerobic condition or flooded conditions are just the difference of water. In one case, you keep the water flooded. In other case, you keep the soil moist. And sometimes foliar spray, this flood the nursery area, and 0.5% urea solution can boost the growth. So seedling mats are ready. You have seen this picture, and you can very easily remove the seedling from these mats. They can be easily, or it can be used for mechanical transplanting. Now, preparing the seedlings for mechanical transplanting. So in modified nursery itself, you can make some alterations, some smart changes so that the same can be used for transplanting by machine. So machine that transplant rice is known as, or rice seedling is known as rice transplanter, or sometimes paddy transplanter. You cannot tell to everyone that there is difference in paddy and rice. If they call it paddy transplanter, just accept it, because paddy is accepted. But at the same time, as a student, you should remember that paddy means these are the fields of rice. So preparing seedlings for mechanical transplanting, mechanical means by machine. Transplanters have built-in trays or seedlings boxes. So you can see on the right side, these are seedling boxes. And seedlings on a thin layer of soil. Instead of 4 centimeter soil, you can have just 2 centimeter soil. Grow seedlings on a thin layer of soil in 30 centimeter into 60 centimeter trays. So this is the size of trays for this particular transplanter. This size will vary. Size of the trays will vary according to the size of the machine. So one can see the size of the tray, and according to that, one can prepare the seedlings. Sometimes seedlings are grown on larger areas and then cut into rectangular strips. So mats are raised in a very large area, and then you can cut it by some implement, by knife or some other implement. You can cut it so that it fits well in the trays of the transplanter. So here I wish to tell you that transplanter are of different types. So one can be manual transplanter run by human beings. Other can be animal drawn, draft power. Animal can be used to use the transplanter. So animal-based transplanter is there, human being or labor-based also there. And third one is self-propelled. Means transplanter will have an engine that can run it in the field without a man, without a person sitting on this. And there can be one more modification, self-propelled with one person sitting there. So there are many adjustments in transplanters. Variety of transplanters are available, and some transplanters run with the tractor. So instead of getting power right in the transplanter, one can use tractors to run the transplanter in the field. So there are many variants of transplanters. So see, this is in very large scale. The nursery, mat nursery was prepared in soil of 1 or 2 centimeter depth. And then these can be cut into size of the trays, and they can be used for machine transplanting. So you can see this, this is paddy transplanter. This is self-propelled. It has an engine. That engine can run the machine, means machine. And so this is all in one. You can see this is complete set of transplanter, and it may cost somewhere around 3 to 4 lakhs rupees. That is the problem. They are expensive machines. So sometimes now no tissue culture, this soil-less culture, hydroponics, it is possible to grow mat nursery in hydroponics. So one company has tried to grow rice nursery in hydroponics method, using hydroponics method, and it can be prepared within 8 to 10 days. So it is certain machines are required. In machines, you can grow the plant. That machine has all kind of climatic requirement can be met in that machine, and nutrient solution is there, and these seedlings can be grown in trays. So methods are available, like someone of you might be knowing that maize fodder and some other fodder crops can be grown in the growth chambers. Now growth chambers are available in some research stations, some centers. where you can grow fodder crops in the grow chambers, or some machines can be used. So here also, sometimes farmers do not have time. Suppose I prepared my nursery and suddenly flood has come and flood has destroyed my nursery. So I do not have rice seedlings, but my fields are full of water. And if I get seedling, I can transplant. So under those conditions, it can be used. This hydroponics nursery can be used. This is one. Number two, my seedlings are there, but there is no rainfall. There's no rainfall, and my seedlings are getting older and older, and they have become, say, 50 days old. So I don't want old seedlings. I want new seedlings, but I have just 1 week's time. So if I have just 1 week's time, then I can go for hydroponics nursery, and I can grow it in 8 to 10 days, and it can be planted by machine. So that time is saved. Time in transplanting is saved. Time in growing the nursery is also saved. So such techniques are coming up. They are available. And you can see it looks like this. This is rice seedlings from the hydroponically grown nursery. And the next, now this is over, this mechanical transplanting, this mat nursery, modified mat nursery. And now you see nursery preparation for SRI, System of Rice Intensification. So it is similar to your modified mat nursery with some differences here and there. So in this case, System of Rice Intensification, I will take one class where I will deal with SRI in detail. So don't worry about SRI. This topic will be covered. So for preparing the nursery of SRI, you need 100 square meter area for 1 hectare. So here in brief, just I want to tell you that SRI is System of Rice Intensification, which started in 2003 in India. And in this, one seedling is planted in one place, one hill, and the age of the seedling is quite young, less than 14 days. And number 3 is wider spacing of 25 by 25 centimeter. And number 4 is cono weeding. Cono weeding is must at 20 to 25 days after transplanting and 40 to 45 days after transplanting in SRI. Another point is that instead of chemical fertilizer, organic manures are preferred in SRI. So in brief, SRI means one seedling in one place, wider spacing, 25 by 25, and young seedling. So for this 100 square meter, very small area is enough because you need one seedling per hill. And also spacing is wider. So 100 square meter area will be sufficient. So in this case, 300 gauge polythene sheet can be taken, and then some frame of the wood frame are taken, and frames are filled with press mud or other compost. In this case, there is no soil. You can simply take press mud or some composting material or compost, and 6.5 kg of sprouted seeds treated with azospilum and phosphobacterium can be broadcast, can be sown, and these are planted at the rate of 45 gram per compartment, and the seeds are covered lightly with sieved pressed mud. Watering is done with a sprinkling machine, can twice daily until the 5th day, and 0.5% urea can be applied, and 12-day-old seedlings will be enough. So this is in brief. I will discuss in detail about SRI, and it is not very significant now in India, or rather in world. The area under SRI is declining and farmers lost interest in SRI. Now you see the 5th method of preparing rice nursery is by bubble tray method. Bubble tray method, you need to prepare the nursery, and then the prepared nursery is broadcast, is applied by broadcast in the mud field. You got main field where you are going to do transplanting. In that field, you prepare the land by puddling, level it, and then these seedlings are applied by broadcast method or by parachute method. You will see it. What is parachute transplanting or seedling broadcasting? They have the same meaning. Either you call it seedling broadcasting or parachute transplanting. And this parachute transplanting is done for the nursery that we prepare in bubble tray method. So on the right side, you are seeing a picture. In this, you can see some trays, some broken trays are there. So in these trays, you can see holes are there. So in these holes, some seed is broadcast. Seed is broadcast into these holes, or seed is put into these holes, 2 to 3 seed per hole. And then they are filled with the soil, and the seedlings are grown. They will germinate, and you can apply water, nutrients, everything, and your nursery is ready. So parachute rice transplanting is a technique of tossing. Tossing is throwing up, tossing rice seedlings uprooted from plastic trays containing a soil ball. So the seed was sown in the holes, these holes, and these holes were filled with soil. So when you remove the seedling, the soil will come out. The soil of the hole will come out, and that will be called as a soil ball. The soil will be attached to roots, or you can say roots are immersed in soil.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, parachute transplanting equal to bubble transplanting?
No.
Both are
Parachute
same or
transplanting
different?
is a method of transplanting, and bubble tray is a method of preparing the seedlings. And in parachute transplanting, bubble tray produced seedlings are transplanted. So just you see, there are two
Okay.
different.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in case of parachute transplanting, is it necessary to grow the seeds or the seedlings in bubble transplant, what you can say, bubble tray?
Yes, it is necessary, because if
Okay,
you do
okay.
not have weight in the soil, so weight in the seedling, if you throw them, they will be collected in one place of the field. They will not be uniformly distributed, and they will not be coming in the contact of the root will not come in the contact of soil. So I request you to wait for just 5 minutes, and you note down your questions, and many of your questions will be answered when I complete next 2-3 slides. Don't worry.
Sorry, sir.
No, not sorry. You are welcome. You are welcome. Everybody is welcome. Don't say this. So, but please never say sorry in such interaction. And you just save your question and let me complete 2-3 slides. Then things will be more clear. So here, just I'm introducing you to bubble tray. See the trays on the right side. These trays were kept on the soil. Seed was broadcast into the holes, and then these holes were filled with soil. Then the seedling will grow, the roots will grow in the hole, and then when seedlings are ready, when they are 25 days old, you can, if you remove the seedling from outside, then they will come along with some soil. You will see picture, and then here parachute means you are throwing the set seedlings into the air, and then they are coming back to the soil. That is parachute, or you can call it broadcasting also. So now in this case, 12 to 15 days old seedlings with root balls will be there. You will see root balls. What is root ball? And the seedlings raised on a plastic trays. So these plastic trays are called as bubble tray. Bubble tray, they are called as bubble tray. They look like bubble from the opposite side. So size can vary. The size can vary, but normally it is 59 centimeter by 34 centimeter with 434 embedded holes. Some holes are there, and there may be about 750 trays per hectare. So such kind of the size of trays is like this. So 750 trays are required. Such kind of 750 trays per hectare are required for per 1 hectare transplanting. So seedbed area is about 250 meter square to plant 1 hectare. So this much is the nursery area. Nursery in uplands, lowlands, or near the house. So you can prepare nursery anywhere you like, but it should be near the water source. In lowlands, 75 centimeter wide and 9 to 12 centimeter high seed beds are used. Now you see this is a bubble tray. So you can very easily see the plastic bubble tray size already you have seen. And in these holes, you put the seed and then you put the soil. So seedlings will grow, And in the end, when you uproot the seedling, they will come along with soil. So soil will, and they will be called as balls, B-A-S-S, balls, seedling balls. So now you can see more, you will get more clarity. On left side picture, you can see bubble tray nursery preparation. So these are the trays. They are spreading on the surface of the soil, or you can spread them anywhere of your choice. And then you can, 250 meter square area is required to plant 1 hectare. So this much of area should be covered with these trays. Now you can see more close. After sowing, you can see the picture of the trays. They have put the seed and they have also put the soil. And seed rate is less, 15 to 20 kg per hectare is required here. Now you can see more pictures of these bubble trays. Bubble trays on the right size, and 2 to 3 healthy seeds are broadcast in each plug, in each hole. Normally, broadcasting should be done in such a way that 2 to 3 healthy seeds will reach each hole. The tray followed by placing a thin layer of soil over it. Then you put the thin layer of soil. So this is interesting. This comes with experience. Now you will find farmers who can very uniformly distribute the seed. If you have seen any farmer broadcasting the seed of fertilizer in the field, farmer's field, you will see they are very experienced, they are very, very intelligent. They can very easily distribute the small quantity of seed or fertilizer uniformly in the field. So by experience, farmers can do it. And then light irrigation is applied frequently. So friends, these are the balls. They are uprooted. They are removed from the bubble tray holes. And now they are ready for transplanting. So these are the seedlings. They are called as seedlings with root balls. Now these seedlings can be broadcasted in the field manually or by machine. There are two methods. One is by manual method, means human beings will broadcast them. You will throw them into the sky and they will come back and they will fall on the field. So this is also experience of the farmer. They know that how many such balls they are going to broadcast in the field, what is the size of the field, and how many seedlings they need to distribute, uniformly distribute. So they have idea. They will throw them into the sky and they will fall like a parachute, and they will immediately, because the weight is more towards root, so the seedling will touch the soil from the root side, So this is how I will discuss in detail in next lecture. So now you see, this was a parachute transplanting or seedling broadcasting. Now you see nursery type, and this is just summary of different nursery methods, the kind of comparison. So you can see wet bed nursery. So here nursery area is normally 800 to 1000 meters square for transplanting 1 hectare area. And seed rate is variable. Definitely according to variety, the seed rate will vary. Optimum seedling age is normally 20 to 25 days for wet bed nursery. Dry bed, almost same thing, but the seedling age is 25 to 30. Because here the emergence is slower. The seed is covered by soil. In other case, in wet bed nursery method, the seedlings are broadcast on the surface of the soil. So their germination, speed of germination is very fast compared to dry bed methods. In case of depot, you need just 60 to 70 meter square area for transplanting 1 hectare, and 40 to 50 kg is the seed rate. Irrespective of the variety, here the seed rate is high, little bit high. For small seeded, you can have 40 kg. For bold seeded, you can have 50 kg seed like this. And then optimum seedling age is 8 to 15 days. And then you see modified mat nursery, 100 meter square area is required, and 9 to 25 seed rate. It varies depending upon the number of seedling you are going to transplant, 1 seedling, 2 seedling, and also spacing, whether it is 20 by 10, 20 by 15, or 20 by 20. The seed rate will vary, and then optimum seedling age is 15. And bubble tray, 250 meter square is the area for nursery, and 15 to 20 kg seed, and then 12 to 15 days old seedlings can be transplanted. So this is just comparative summary of different rice nurseries. Now it is time to have all kind of questions related to nursery. You are free to ask questions. Any question on any kind of nursery or anything you want to ask?
Sir, is the bubble tray made of plastic or any kind of light material?
Yeah, they are made up of plastic, and they are made up of rubber item. Rubber also used, so they can be made up of rubber or plastic. Plastic material is more common.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So any other question? Dhyan,
Sir,
what your names are?
to transplanting.
Yeah. Please ask again. I could not hear it. Your voice was not clear. So could you ask again? So I think I can stop this presentation and I will start the next presentation.